All right, these are guided notes 1.6. Today's notes are about comparing distributions. Okay, so in here we're going to use the acronym SOX to compare distributions. So remember, the acronym stands for S is for shape, O is for outliers, C is for center, and S is for spread. Compare, don't just list. So you need to put this plus, you need to put some context into your comparisons and use words like less than, greater than, similar to, or different from. Another acronym you could use is CUS. So maybe another one that has the same idea as this acronym here. CUS would be the center. U would be any unusual features such as outliers, and S is the shape or the spread. Okay, so when you're comparing distributions, use either this acronym or SOX. Okay, in this example number 1, the box plot shows prices of used cars in thousands of dollars advertised for sale at 3 different car dealers. Ace, so these are the dealerships. This box plot is for Ace. The other one is called Buy It, and the other one is called Cars Z. Notice that there's a little data out here. This is going to be an outlier. Hey, which dealer offers the cheapest car offered and at what price? So this is the money, right? So this is 22,000 and this is 4,000. So right here we could see that car Z has the cheapest offer at about, I want to say approximately $5,000. Which dealer has the lowest median price? So for the median price, we're looking at the Q2 or the second quartile. So we're looking at this, or this. So right here is going to be Buy It. This dealership has the lowest median. I could see here it's going to be around approximately $10,000. Which dealer has the smallest price range? So we want to look at the highest minus the lowest. So here we see that a subtraction of 10,000 and about 10,000 to 20,000, that's about 10,000 difference. Here between 6 and 18, that's about 12,000. So let me write this down. So this is about 10,000, approximately about 12,000. And then here about from 5 to 16, maybe that's 11,000. So we see that Ace is approximately 10,000 for the range. Part D, which dealer's prices have the smallest IQR, and what is it? So remember, the IQR is the third quartile minus the first quartile. Okay, and or you could see the size of the box. The size of the box. So we could see that car Z, if you compare this size of the box, it's a lot smaller than these two. So car Z would have the smallest IQR, and this is asking for what is it? So maybe this is 11,000 to 14,000. So 14,000 minus 11,000, that's approximately $3,000. Okay. Question number 2. The following box plots show the total income of 40 randomly chosen households, each from Connecticut, Maine, and Massachusetts, based on the U.S. Census data. Compare the distributions of annual incomes. So you are comparing distributions. So we need to use our acronym plus you want to make sure you include context. So you see this box plot here for Maine, Massachusetts, and Connecticut, and the annual household income in the thousands. So you have to make a statement and make a comment about each of these 4 components, and you want to include context. Make a comment about the shape, any outliers, the center, and the spread, okay, or the variability. Take a look at this sample response. Okay, so look at the shape. S, the shape of the distribution of income. So our comment for the shape of the distribution of income for Connecticut, here's Connecticut, is roughly symmetric. So look at the wording, is roughly symmetric. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you could use that wording, roughly symmetric. So look at the box for Connecticut. It looks pretty symmetric, pretty even on both sides. Not this whisker looks almost the same as this whisker. While Maine, this is where you're comparing. Okay, and look at the color coding. The green means that the context was included. Orange is that there's a comparing going on involved, or the language. While Maine's incomes are slightly skewed right. This is Maine, and look at how this looks like it has a little bit longer tail on the right side. So it's slightly skewed versus Massachusetts. Massachusetts incomes have a stronger right skew. So this is a longer whisker. So that's why the wording here is stronger. Okay, so that's for this paragraph here is for the comment on the shape. Now we go through the acronym of SOX. O, let's talk about any outliers. Maine and Massachusetts each have an outlier, a high outlier, while Connecticut has none. There are no little stars here on Connecticut. C, for center, the center is highest for Massachusetts. So we're looking at the median value here at about 100,000. So notice that Massachusetts has a higher center at about 100,000, followed by Connecticut. So after that is Connecticut coming in second, and last is Maine. And you could approximate those numbers. So by Connecticut at about maybe $52,000, $53,000 here. Maine with the lowest at maybe that's 45. If you follow it down, maybe that's 45, 47, 46. You don't have to be exactly give the exact value, but an approximation is good enough. And lastly, S, the IQR is so the spread or the variability. So right here, when we're talking about box plots, we're looking at the IQR. So the size of the box. Notice that Massachusetts has a bigger box, and then Maine and Connecticut look like they're pretty similar. So the IQR, about 130,000, is highest for Massachusetts. And the way we get that 130,000 approximation is maybe this would be 180, 180, and this probably, I don't know, 50 approximation. So 180 minus 50 would give you that 130 here. And Maine and Connecticut have similar spread. So you're making some comparing. All right, and make sure you look at the color coding here. Green, you're talking about the context. This is distribution of incomes. Orange is using the wording of comparing, and the purple, you're making estimations about 52,000, about 130,000. Okay.